We are live, Mets and overall baseball fans. Thank you guys so much for chiming in for the latest post-game show. This is more of a reaction stream. This is not going to be a lawn show by any stretch. I hope the audio is okay. I'm just at my AirPods in right now. I'm absolutely miserable. This game was nothing short of a complete shit show. I met up with my buddy Borna, who covers the Padres, who actually flew in today. And in his vlog, he put out a guess that the Padres would win 7-1 today, and they ended up doing exactly that. I'm distraught. I'm pissed off. I'm flabbergasted. If the Mets somehow, some way pull off a miracle and win this series, I'm not attending any other playoff game this year. I mean, this was downright disgusting. Mad Max, absolutely pathetic. I mean, you're paid $43 million to what? Choke on absolute cock when you're facing the most important teams you're facing all year. First it's Atlanta, in Atlanta. Now it's San Diego at home. You give up 4 fucking home runs. You give up 7 earned runs and not even 5 innings. The offense wasn't any better. Was not any better whatsoever. The offense was putrid. They allowed a runner to get to third in both the first and second inning. Now you guys saw between Lindor and then Marte, less than 2 outs, they both stole a second base or got to third somehow, less than 2, and they couldn't drive in the runs. This team was downright pathetic in game 1 of a potential 2 or 3 game set against the San Diego Padres, and they only had themselves to blame. Truly disheartening from a Mets fan perspective. Citi Field was rocking. I was screaming my ass off. I mean, everyone was. And before you knew it, the life was sucked out of us. When Bell hit the Apple home run, 2-0. Okay, they're in the ball game at least, but no, 6-0, 7-0. I mean, what am I supposed to be cheering for here? Seriously. I mean, before you can even really get the full excitement, the most exciting part about this ball game, folks, truly from being in attendance, was the fact of the pregame. It was announcing the players. That was the most exciting aspect of this atrocious, god-awful piece of shit thing you call a ball game. The San Diego Padres, 1,000% the better team, just as they said when the Mets face the Braves in Atlanta and get swept. San Diego deserves endless credit for their performance tonight. Mad Max giving up home runs to Jurickson Profar, Trent Grisham, Josh Bell, who again has favorable numbers against Max. I get that, but has been anything but good since arriving in San Diego. Truly a pathetic performance. Truly pathetic performance. I just feel for all the fans that were in attendance. This was a sold-out crowd tonight, 100%. Everyone was in their seats by the time the game was about to start. Every single one. From Mets fans to the handful of Padres fans, including Borna, my buddy, who I absolutely despise right now because obviously he's a happy camper. But, man, I don't even really know what to say. There's not much to break down. There's not much to recap about this game. It was absolutely god-awful. It was a god-awful ball game. Max did not do anything remotely close to what he was supposed to do. Hunt some pitches. And I get it. The ump was not good. I understand that. You guys told me. I was getting texts. People were telling me on Twitter that the ump was atrocious from the beginning. I understand that. I can get it if it was impacting Max and him getting squeezed. But it does not fucking matter. Him getting squeezed if you do not score more than one measly run in this ball game. Against the Mets in the regular season. He made the Mets look absolutely putrid. They looked absolutely god-awful. There was nothing encouraging, just discouraging from what truly was a god-awful performance for the New York Mets. And now, just like that, after winning 101 games this season, they face potential elimination tomorrow on the mound. $1,200, thank you for the dono. He says, horrible showing. No way this team isn't done tomorrow. They should be embarrassed. Suddenly, both aces hitting the wall. Disgusted. I'm truly disgusted, too. I'm truly disgusted, too. 1,200, thank you for the dono. I appreciate that. Let's see what else we got in here for sure. Let's see. Offense is garbage. Not only the offense, Max, what was he? He was trash. I love Max, but he was absolute trash. And Max's 2 most important starts of the entire year. He was garbage, pathetic. You're spending over $40 million for this aging 30, soon to be 40-year-old, And this man who's been absolutely nails, his best ERA of his career this year, and he's absolutely trash when you need him to step up. And the thing is, as frustrating as it is, because you know the story with the Mets, when they give up early runs, when they give up early deficits, you know that they are fine fucked. It's almost a certainty with this team. They have been, for the majority of the second half, exactly like this. If they do not score within the first couple innings of a ball game, and the opposing team does, it doesn't matter if they're home or away. The likelihood of that team coming back is so slim to none. Unless you're Eduardo Escobar, who again was the only man that gave a flying you-know-what tonight from what he did against Miami, right? Where he had the 5 RBI game. Or when Lindor, Alonso, they went with the home runs to get the Mets the lead after being in early deficit in Milwaukee. If you do not have those guys, you have nothing. And the Mets had nothing tonight. So as soon as the Mets were down 2-0 because of Josh Bell bomb the first, I wasn't feeling good. This team has proven time and time again that when they face early deficits, this offense cannot get it done. And Max Scherzer, again, it's on the offense tonight too, 100%, but Max did nothing, did absolutely nothing to help this team succeed tonight. He did anything but good tonight is what Max did. And it is heartbreaking for me to say, as someone that loves Mad Max, has been a diehard supporter of his all year long, he was just downright atrocious. Downright atrocious. There's no ifs, ands, or what's about it. He was god-awful in this start. Giving up 4, imagine giving up a fucking home run to Trent Grisham, who doesn't even have 170 average. All this guy does is get bunt singles. And you give up a nuke to him. Jerks the profile. Thank you for the dono. Appreciate that. God awful. Well, the booze as loud person as they were on TV. I mean, yeah, no, I was booing Max. I was part of it. I was part of it. I was part of it. I was not happy. I mean, you're paid 40 plus fucking mil to do one thing, and that has to be a competent pitcher. You don't even need to be the best in baseball, and you give up 4 nukes in not even 5 innings. I'm supposed to cheer you on now, Max? I'm supposed to root for you? Miss me with that bullshit, seriously. And again, Max isn't the only one. Max isn't the only one at fault tonight. Max isn't the only one. It's more than Max. It's more than Max. It's the offense. The offense cannot comprehend anything when they are down early in the game. They've proven it time and time again. 9 out of 10 times they're losing a ball game, even if they're only down by 2 or 3. And the pitching, brutal. Like I said, if the Mets pull off a miracle and somehow, some way win Game 2 and they win this series, I'm not attending another game unless they potentially go to the World Series, which at this rate, their season very well can be done by time Saturday concludes. So, not getting ahead of myself. Truly disheartening. And I feel for all the Mets fans out there. I feel for the fans just like me that follow this team from Game 1 of the entire season. I feel for the fans that have been diehard fans of this club for decades on end. And there's zero enjoyment. There is zero enjoyment when it comes to a show like this. 101 ball club. 101 ball club. And you put up this piece of shit performance. This piece of shit performance. Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. I want to curl up in the ball and cry right now. Not even gonna lie. Julian, thank you for the donut. Worry, sorry you had to drive all the way to City Field and pay that money to watch that garbage. Do you think there's any chance? Of course there's a chance. Jake's gonna pitch tomorrow, more than likely. Of course there's a chance. Darvish isn't pitching tomorrow. That's an upside. However, Snell's expected to probably go Game 2. He did well against the Mets, even though he didn't pitch too deep last time they matched up at home in July. But man, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Julian, thank you for the donut. JV, thank you for another though. Judge's blank check is in the mail. Appreciate that. That's funny. And you guys have no idea. You have no idea. You have no idea how much it pains me to be feeling this way, to be talking this way. I hate every single second of it. I hate it. There is no satisfaction right now whatsoever. I love this team with all of me, and I always will. But what we just witnessed tonight was one of the worst shell jobs of an ace-level starting pitcher that we have seen in playoffs in a long time. An offense that could do anything but perform. From top to bottom, just like the Braves series, but even worse, because this team was absolutely shelled. They had nothing. They have nothing. Disgusting performance. Disgusting. How are we feeling, Mets fans? How are we feeling? Let me know in the chat right now. Even the Phillies won. Yeah, even the Phillies managed to score 6 fucking runs in the ninth. Yeah. Yep, I saw that. If people think this team is better than 2015 or 2016, they don't know anything about baseball. Judah, from a regular season standpoint, there's reasons to make that argument, but from a postseason standpoint, yeah, the Mets season very well could be over tomorrow. So, yeah, it is what it is. We'll find out tomorrow. I'll be covering it pregame, postgame tomorrow. I'll be nervous, but in a better tune tomorrow than I am right now. I'm exiting this ball game. Been stuck in traffic for like 10, 15 minutes now. Why? Because these people don't know how to drive. These people's driving incompetence is almost as bad as this Mets team tonight. Truly disgraceful what the Mets did. Truly. Thank you so much for the donut, Richie. I love you, brother. Brutal performance tonight. DeGrom will be lights out tomorrow night, and the offense will carry the squad back to the wins. You still got brother, thank you so much for the donut. I will always believe and I will always support this team until the very end. Thank you so much for that. It doesn't change the fact that I have everywhere in the world be so pissed off right now. So pissed off. How do you do that, man? How does Max give up home runs to schmucks? Machado, I get it. Bell, even to a lesser degree, I get it. Bell has been anything but good since arriving in San Diego, but I get it. I can still understand him more. Bell has raked against the Mets all year long through his time with DC, and he has really solid numbers against Max. But Jerks and fucking Profar, Trent Grisham, you're giving up nukes to these guys? You're really doing that? And the offense, where were you? Where were we? Runners on third, less than 2 out, first 2 innings. What do you do? Oh, yeah. Just like what you didn't do in Atlanta when you had Eduardo on third. No outs. You did nothing. You did absolutely nothing. Eduardo, speaking of the devil, the only positive guy offensively tonight, a home run and a double. Marte was electric. Single, stolen base second, stole third. When the man is aching in pain with his broken middle finger on his right hand, I think. Still nothing. Lindor, nothing. Alonso, base knock. What did he fucking do? I mean, seriously, this team was downright pathetic. I can't say it enough, guys. Man, you arrived to watch this performance. So did I, Hudson. Heartbreaking is an understatement, man. No, there was nothing to respect from this game. If you're a New York Mets fan, nothing. There is nothing to take away from this ball game and say that it was encouraging. There was zero encouragement from this ball game. The only encouragement that you could rightfully argue from this ball game is the Mets bullpen. That's it. That's literally it. And who cares? Literally, who cares? When you're already losing 7-1, it changes nothing. Not having a good time right now, guys. So when you get guys, let's pipe it down a bit. I would say Buck needs to put some fire under these guys behind DeGrom. Better show up tomorrow. I agree, Juan. Thank you for the dono. And here's the thing, guys. Don't get it twisted. I know I might be overreacting a little bit from an emotion standpoint. I literally just exited the game, guys. Okay? Of course I'm going to be upset. Of course I'm going to be tight. No shit. My first playoff game I ever witnessed, and I get to witness that atrocity. You spend a fortune for these tickets, and I get to witness what? Nothing. The most hype part about this ball game was the introductions of the players on the field. So I apologize. I apologize that I'm not happy, that I'm not satisfied, that I'm not optimistic. But if you watch this ball game, when you attend a ball game like this, it is very hard to be. It's very hard to be. Tomorrow, gonna take a deep breath, calm down, go to bed. Gonna go on Casey Stern's Unfiltered podcast. Gonna record around 1 tomorrow. Gonna probably rant about the Mets for a minute and talk about how they could come back. Gonna do a pregame show tomorrow, postgame show tomorrow, win or lose. If the Mets win, it's gonna be electric. If the Mets lose and their season is done, it's gonna be absolutely heartbreaking. But we're gonna go through it together. But no matter what, I would just like to emphasize that I do apologize. I do not mean to offend anyone from the profanity. If I'm taking things too far, I'm just a diehard fan, guys. That you know that's what I am. That's all I am. I'm just a content creator, but I'm just a diehard fan. I watch this team every single day. I've done it my entire year. So when you witness an 100-win season, and just like that in one game, you're already one game away from being eliminated. Naturally, it's not a great feeling for the time being. So I do apologize. I do not want to have to talk about off-season shit anytime soon. And it breaks my heart that we're one loss away from that happening. I pray to the baseball gods that Jake does what he's supposed to. This offense wakes up and they get to a game 3 and Seabass can hopefully take care of business. But when Max gets shelled the way he does in game 1, and the offense, what do, offense? You do nothing. How am I supposed to feel good as a fan? How? It might just be one game, but when it's a 3-game set tops, and the assumption that you're not swept, it's a little bit of a different circumstance. I think we can agree with that one. Thank you for the dono. Let me on. Not an encouraging stat to see tonight, that's for sure. Thank you for the dono, though. McBlam, thank you for the dono. I'm extremely disgusted at why I watch. I mean, wow, but I'm still hopeful for the next 2. The big lady ain't saying yet. I agree, she is not. Not having a good time right now. Thank you for the dono. I appreciate you. I just don't get. Oh, I'm sure ESPN was god awful tonight. Thank God I was at least as much as it sucked being in attendance. It's still probably better. It's still probably better than watching that god awful broadcast on the ESPN. The fact that they even that even exists is beyond me. Most incompetent broadcast in all baseball coverage, which is saying a lot because Fox Sports, right there too, sucking the cock by John Smoltz. Diaz won't pitch this postseason. How effed is that? That's with the assumption that the Mets get blown out tomorrow. It's not a close game. Thank you for the dono. Hopefully that's not the case. Our saving grace is Steve. 100%. Cohen has done so many amazing things for this team. Regardless if the Mets year ends tomorrow, if it ends a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now, we will always have Steve Cohen, and that is huge. Always, Dave. He does feel like us, and I'm sure he's disgusted right now by tonight's performance. Thank you for the donor, brother. Appreciate that. Black Unions are so fire. At least we lost some style. They are still fire, and they're not bad luck. The Mets had the no-no this year in the Black Unis. They have had plenty of great wins in Black Unis. I hate that notion that Black Unis are, a curse or something. They're not. They just played like shit tonight. Simple as that. Thank you for the donut, Julian. Marte had more drive tonight after we saw. It's crazy, right? Isn't that nuts? Marte looks like a guy that didn't miss a beat when he's still in pain. It's insane. Rich, thank you for the donut. Marte wasn't only good with his offense, he was phenomenal with his glove. You guys saw that catch he made in right, got into the wall a little bit, ate it like an absolute beast. He's been so good. We love starting Marte. All the pop-ups can't be a coincidence. Someone deaf told the Mets to change their approach from how they're constructed. Paul, I don't know if there's a drastic change in approach as there is just not having a good night offensively and not knowing how to hit Yu Darvish the same way this team didn't know how to hit him for a lick and the 2 times they faced him this year. Thank you for the donut, though. I appreciate that. Green Ape, thank you for the dono. He says, Braves fan, don't give up. See you on the NLCS. One can pray for that one. One can pray for that one. Thank you for the dono. Wouldn't that be electric? But again, what a pathetic performance tonight, guys. What a pathetic performance. Truly, how I'm truly at a loss for words on how this team performed tonight. Thank you for that, Malik. I appreciate that. I know we've had back and forth a lot with you being the Braves fan and all, but I appreciate that. Thank you. And shout out to everyone in the shows. Diaz, if Diaz pitches tomorrow, it won't be until the 8th or the 9th. That's at minimum. Toss, thank you for the $2 donor. Appreciate you. But guys, the umpire calls were. I heard, Tyler. I was in my group chat with Joe and Rucker early in the game. Joe was like, what the fuck is this with the calls? And I could see from my vantage point, we were naturally yelling as a joke because that's what you do when you're a schmuck fan, regardless. You could be all the way in the outfield. You have no clue with the vantage point. You always yell at the ump for fun. But I heard that the ump was terrible. Regardless, though, regardless of this umpire being a quote-unquote horrendous, atrocious tonight, it doesn't matter when the Mets have right around the same amount of hits as the Padres and they're outscored by 6 runs. There's a 4 home run difference. Okay? It's about hitting, barreling the baseball, scoring with runners in scoring position. The Mets did none of that tonight. So while Max was atrocious, anything but good, the same thing can be said for this offense. As much as that ump might have been bad, might have been terrible, from what I've heard, doesn't change the fact that nothing about this team was good tonight. And for that, you cannot. Top to bottom, this team was absolute shit tonight. Nimble was great. So is Rory. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that dono. We love Brandon Nimmo. Hopefully he stays in that for sure. I'm so pissed, guys. I'm so pissed. I really am pissed right now. Yep. McBlam, thank you for the donut. Yeah, ESPN was awful. I watched on mute and had someone's watch party stream going to have some decent commentary. Why are they so bad? It's ESPN. It's difficult for them to comprehend basic sports that isn't football or basketball. That's all they know. Other than that, they're like, oh, here's blah, 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 blah. They don't know shit. Only plus side is the bullpen stepped up. That is the only plus side. That, Marte looking healthy and looking good, and Escobar. Those are your 3 upsides. Thank you for the donut, Scott. DeGrom didn't give up a run tonight. Sounds pretty good to me. Fingers crossed he doesn't tomorrow. But guys, I'm gutted. I'm pissed. I'm stuck in traffic. More profanity's going to spew out of my mouth sooner than later. So that being said, that's going to wrap up the show. Thank you so much to everyone that chimed in. I greatly appreciate you. To my upwards of 600 viewers, you guys are nuts. I don't know how you guys enjoy the schmuck that is me. I love you all to death, though. Mets will look to bounce back tomorrow in a do-or-die situation for the first of potentially multiple times in this postseason. Will the Mets season end tomorrow, or will they at minimum take it to Game 3 this Sunday with the assumption that Chris Bassett will be on the mound? Then we'll soon find out. Pre-game show will be at 5 or 6 p.m. Eastern on the channel tomorrow. Post-game show right after Game 2 concludes, regardless on the result. Thank you guys so much for the support. Love you so much. No matter what. Let's go, Mets.